that you must know about the firewall to implement and deploy firewall in your organization. It could be a big company, it could be a small company, or it could be university or a small college. So we will be looking at that. So in our
I think Vipin sir has lost the connection. Wait, guys. Guys, wait for a moment. Speaker is coming soon. Guys, sorry for getting delay. Actually, there is some technical issue. So he's resolving actually soon. He's connecting within 1 or 2 minutes. Wait for him. Please 1 or 2 minutes, guys. ही चेक करो, आपकी तरफ से ही थोड़ा कुछ इशू आ रहा है ना, क्योंकि वो क्यों डिस्कनेक्ट हो जा रहा है ऑटोमेटिकली, उस चीज को आप थोड़ा सा देखो, है ना, क्योंकि बच्चे वेट कर रहे हैं, फिर थोड़ा सा आपके पास कोई जियो वगैरह का नहीं है जो तो आपका कहीं ना कहीं कुछ ऐसा तो नहीं है, आपने कुछ परमिशन का कुछ लगा रखा है? Okay, okay. Vipin sir, are you there?
Yes, yes.
Hello, Vipin sir.
Are you audible, sir?
I think your voice is not audible. Hello.
Audible, sir?
Okay, okay. Now you can start, sir. Now you can start. Yeah, you're audible.
Audible, sir? Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Haan.
But your connection is very poor, I guess.
Oh,
So you can start, please.
let me. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So in our case, we are starting with sorry for the network disturbance. So in our case, we are going to discuss the firewall. When we talk about the firewall, different firewalls are available, and one of the most used firewall is Cisco ASA firewall, Adaptive Security Appliance Firewall. When we go on to purchase this firewall, they charge at least 20 lakh rupees from you, and they are going to give you one hardware device. So sometimes we call this as a hardware firewall also. Then we have got another firewall is there, that is checkpoint firewall. Again, when we are going to purchase this firewall, they are going to charge at least 20 lakh rupees for you, and they are going to give you one dedicated hardware. So again, this firewall is also called a hardware firewall. And the another problem with these firewall is that we need one specialized person who is going to have these firewall, and monthly that person is again going to charge a lot of money. Then we have got the third type of firewall, that is the Microsoft ISA firewall, that is going to cost you some money. And for running this firewall, we need a 2003 server or 8 server or 2012 or 16 server, which is again going to cost some money. All the three file, lot of cost is involved. And then we have got the fourth firewall available, which is Linux-based net filter IP table firewall. Please remember, this is free firewall, and it is as good as the above three firewalls. And who can handle this firewall? Who has got the knowledge of 10 to 15 Linux commands, that person can handle this firewall, IP tables firewall. So in our case, we are going to take the practical example of this IP tables firewall. And the another advantage is this is open source. That means you can modify the changes. Now, whenever we are talking about all these firewall, please remember, whenever you are implementing any of these firewall, you have to remember three things. If we are going to remember those three things, or if we are master of those, implement any of these firewall. So what are those three things? Let me go into one by one. So first of all is the type of firewall. That means when we will purchase the firewall, we have to specify which type of firewall we want. So we are going to some car dealer and we purchase the car. So when we go to the car dealer, we are not going to just say, give us the car. We have to specify some company's name, and in that company also some model name. Same way, when we talk about the firewall, three types of firewalls are available. So when we are purchasing firewall, when we are implementing firewall, we specify which type of firewall we want to use. So first type of firewall is filter firewall. So when we say filter, that means I want to stop certain type of traffic. Suppose I want to block HTTPS, or I do not want a certain person to download certain thing, or I do not want certain person to remotely access my system. So what we are doing, we are filtering the traffic. So 90% of the firewalls that are available, they are filter. And when we, another example of filter, like in our houses, when we say meaning of that means not allowing the impurities to go into, that is filtering the impurities. So when we talk about the firewall, the first, the most important firewall that is used is filter type of firewall. Then we have got second type of firewall, that is NAT firewall, network address translation. which is further uses this type of firewall. NET has got further variety, that is SNET and DNET. That means we will be moving to the, but we need to understand certain things. So that is why I'm explaining. So second type of firewall is NET. Explaining a little bit more about what is this SNET, because later on I will be giving one practical example of that also, to use the DNET type of firewall. Now, when we are talking about SNET type of firewall, first we have to understand what is SNET. Normally, you will see that in your organization or college, in company, the addresses given to your systems are in private range. Like it is going to be 192.168 series, or it is going to be 10 series, or it is going to be 172 series. Now, these all are private addresses. And because these addresses are free, so mostly the organization for their internal network, they use this type of addresses. But the problem with this free addresses is, or private addresses is, that by using so in the case of SNET, that means by using this SNET, by using this private address, you cannot access the internet. So what we do, we generally place one SNET device there. So what is the purpose of this SNET device? It will be having two network addresses. One, it will be having the private address, and other address will be the public address. So suppose this system wants to access the internet, google.com. So directly it cannot access. A request will to this system, and this system is going to send the request to internet, because on internet already certain firewalls are there, which we call as a ACL, access control list. So by default, these do not allow traffic from private range, whether it is 192 series, 168, 172 series, or 10 series. So we have to use the SNET device. Some call our SNET device as proxy server also. So when we talk about the firewalls, mean what they have got, SNET type of firewall is there. Then we have got DNET. What is DNET? So we have to, for 1 minute, we have to understand this also. Now, sometimes happen. Each and every organization has got web server in their, that means they have got websites. Sometimes when we website, it is on some web hosting companies. But I have seen certain organization, what they do, they implement a web server on their premises. So suppose there is one organization, suppose they have implemented their web server on their local system. Now in local system, the address is going to be suppose 192.168. Now this is private address. From internet, you cannot access these private addresses. So what we need to attach one DNET device. It will be having one private address. It will be having one public address. So what the internet people, what we are going to advertise, we are going to advertise the public address. So what will happen when the internet is going to connect with the public address? This device is going to send the request to this. So for security purpose, sometimes the company launch this server. So what this device is basically performing, it is performing DNET type of thing. So when you are purchasing the file, so purchase is going to be filled. Now in bank, happen generally, they need access on all the terminal. So now they implement this type of firewall. The third type of firewall. Like yesterday, when from my town, I was coming to Chandigarh through my own car. What happened? It is almost 170 kilometers. At two places, the policeman stopped.
Hello, Vipin sir.
Yes, again, it is again, it is just connection. I don't think even today I'm in Chandigarh, so not having. So I'm continuing. I mean, that type of firewall is meant, like I was giving you the example that yesterday when I was to the Chandigarh, at 2 times the. So when today the evening when I have to return to my place, I do not want the policeman to stop my car. So what I can do, I can put red light on my car. So we'll have.
Hello, Vipin sir. Hello.
Hello. connection जहाँ बाकी sites
Sir,
तो
you are
open हो रही हैं. I
disconnecting
do not know what is.
frequently. Vipin sir?
मैम डिस्कनेक्ट नहीं कर रहा हूँ, अपने आप हो रहा है. हाँ जी, हाँ जी, हाँ जी.
Yes, yes. So it is interrupting a lot. No problem, please. Continue.
Let me now. I think it is connected. So let me again.
Now you can start, sir. Now you are
Yeah.
audible. Now you can start.
Oh, now it is visible, ma'am.
Yes, yes, it is visible.
Okay. Sorry for that. It has never happened, but
No
I don't
problem,
know
sir.
what
No
is.
problem.
Okay. So third type of firewall that means in the evening I do not want this to happen. So what I will do, I will put that red light on my car. What will happen? Because the policemen know that red light means some important person is going, so they will not stop. Now, what is it has to do with our firewall? Internet of traffic is there. So suppose we are sending some mail. If it is going at suppose 2 seconds late, no such issue. But what about the VIP traffic? We want to give the preference to that traffic. So in internet, two type of traffic there. To one give a little bit priority, and one is normal traffic like email type of traffic. So we call this as a quality of firewall. So mostly telecommunication companies, they use this type of firewall. So in the case, Mangle. When we talk about IP tables firewall, when you implement this IP tables firewall, it gives you the facility of filtering also, it gives you the facility of net also, it gives you the facility of Mangle. That means once you have chosen IP tables firewall as a firewall, so what is happening? It is available. Filtering is also available. NAT is also.
Guys, once again, sorry, still he has some issue actually related to this internet. So again, he's trying to connect. Wait for a moment. Actually, sorry, actually, we are also very ashamed.
एक मिनट हाँ जी हो गया ये स्क्रीन शेयरिंग नहीं आ रही अभी हाँ जी
अब आ रही है स्क्रीन शेयरिंग?
हाँ जी सर हाँ जी
ठीक है सर, ठीक है सर, करिए।
नहीं सर अभी भी नहीं आई हेलो फिर डिसेबल हो गई है हाँ जी ऑडियो ठीक है
ऑडियो 1 सेकंड
ये
आप हेलो
हेलो हाँ जी सर वो डिसेबल्ड
ऑडियो
है
एकदम, ये ऑडियो एकदम ओके है इस टाइम।
हाँ जी नहीं ये आपकी वो सर
क्या?
होस्ट डिसेबल आ रहा है शेयर स्क्रीन शेयरिंग डिसेबल है सर
अच्छा, आपको को होस्ट बनाना है ना?
हाँ जी
आप बन गए को होस्ट, देखिए।
हाँ जी ठीक है सर
अब इस बार ठीक
हाँ
है
जी
आवाज?
आगे सर आगे
हाँ हाँ, नाउ यू कैन स्टार्ट सर।
हाँ जी सर सॉरी
और
दैट
कोई
इज
बात नहीं,
एक्सट्रीम
आपने वही लोकेशन चेंज किया ना, तभी करेक्ट हुआ
थोड़ा सा
है।
देखते हैं अब ठीक आ रही है बैंडविड्थ क्या
अब एकदम क्लियर है।
ठीक है सर so let me start sir हाँ जी so first we have already discussed type of firewall so I told that once we implement the IP tables firewall it gives you all the three firewall it gives you filter facility also net facility also mingle facility now whenever we are implementing the firewall you have to keep a track of second thing which is the direction of firewall now this is the extremely important thing हेलो सर अभी तो शेयर है सर सर्वर कुछ हाँ जी हाँ जी
Yes, sir, all perfect. Please
हाँ
continue.
जी हाँ जी so second most important thing is direction of firewall so make you understand what is direction of firewall like in my case when I take physical classes suppose if the time is 10:30 normally what I do after 10:30 I do not allow the students to enter the class that means after 10:30 what I am going to do I'm going to lock the door from the inside now what will happen the participant from the outside they will not be able to enter into the classroom after 10:30 but what will happen if some of the participants which are in already in the class they want to go out what will happen they will not be able to go out so when we are talking about the firewall understanding direction of firewall is very important so let me explain because this is the one of the most important thing whenever you are implementing any firewall so in my case when I will be showing you the practical of this firewall I will be taking 4 systems one of my system is going to be 192.168.0.2 I mean, for implementing firewall, understanding this lab is very necessary. Then understanding this direction of firewall is very necessary. So in my case, I will be involving 4 systems. One of my system is going to be 192.168.0.2. It is going to be Windows system. Now then I will be having 2 systems which are going to be Linux system, and they will be having the address 172.24.0.11. Another system will be 172.24.0.31. If you are going to carefully look at the IP addresses of this system, now this system is into different network. That means it belongs to network 192.168.0.0, and these 2 systems, they belongs to network 172.24. So they, if I want this system to be able to communicate to this system, they will not be able to communicate. What I need to do, I need to implement some routing facility. That means I have to put some router there. Now, basically, what is router? So in router, if 2 networks are there, like 1 network, 2 network, so what we have to do, whether it is Cisco router or your Windows system you have made as a router, or Linux system you have made as a router, it should have 2 interfaces. So in my case, although in diagram I am showing it as a Cisco router, but actually in my case I have taken one Linux system. In Linux system I have put 2 LAN cards. One LAN card is having the address 192.168.0.1, so that this LAN card can communicate with this system, and another is having the address 172.24.0.1, so that it can communicate with this system. So in this case, I have implementing the routing facility also. So in my case, I will be involving 4 systems. This Linux system is going to act as a firewall. So when I will be showing the practical, we will ping from this system to this system, and it will be able to ping. Now, what is the meaning of direction of firewall? So in my case, what I have done, because this is Linux system, I have implemented certain servers there. One is telnet server, one is SS server. Please remember, you use telnet and SSS for managing the remote systems. That means if I have to manage your server of NIT Hamirpur, currently I'm sitting in Chandigarh, so I have to manage those systems remotely. So generally we use 2 protocols, telnet and SS. So in my case, I have implemented 2 servers, telnet and SS here. Also, I have implemented web server here, FTP server here, and I have created 2 users, VPN and Anantika. So in my case, when I'm sitting here, if I'm going to say that this system, 11 system, it should not be able to access this system. So we have to keep in mind the direction of the firewall. So when I'm sitting here and the traffic is from this to this system, this is called input type of direction. That means when the traffic is coming towards the firewall, it is input. Again, if I want to block this system for accessing any service, so it will be controlled by the input direction. And what about from this to this? Again, input. Now, the second case is, suppose I'm sitting here and I want that this system should not be able to access anything on this system. So what is happening? From this system, we have to put the rule in output direction. So in my case, when I was giving you the example of class, what was happening? I was saying that after 10:30, I will not allow the students to enter into the class. So what I was doing, I was putting the restriction into the input direction. But what was happening actually? It was putting the restriction in output direction also. Now the third thing is, suppose I want to send certain traffic from this system to this system. Now what is happening? The traffic has to go through this system, then it. So it is called forward. So whenever you are dealing with any firewall, whether it is Cisco firewall or it is a Checkpoint firewall or Microsoft firewall, you have to keep in mind the directions of the firewall. So when we talk about the direction, 3 directions are there. Input mean the traffic, when the traffic is coming towards the firewall, that will be dealt by the input chain. And when the traffic is originating from the firewall and it is going to some other system, it will be controlled by the output chain. And when the traffic is just passing through the your firewall, it will be controlled by the forward chain. And in Cisco, the people say input as in, output as a out, and they do not recognize forward direction. They say that first it is in and out. Now, in our case, we have discussed 2 things: type of firewall. Second is direction of firewall. Now, third thing we have to discuss after we will move towards the practical. Now, sometimes when we take the class, we ask the students, is the firewall going to stop the viruses or not? What happened? 1/3 of the people, they say that your firewall is going to stop the viruses. 1/3 people, they are going to say, no, it is not going to stop the viruses. And 1/3 are always diplomatic. They are going to say it may stop or it may not stop. So now we have to discuss the third thing. Once we have discussed the third thing, we will come to know what the firewall can do, what the firewall cannot do. If I have to do the farming, if I'm going to purchase the car, I will not be able to do the farming. For farming purpose, I need to purchase the tractor. Same way, when we are dealing with the firewall, you have to understand what the firewall is going to prevent and what the firewall is not going to prevent. So in our case, we are going to discuss the third thing. Once we have discussed the third thing, then what we are going to do, we will straightway move to the practical purpose. So now what is the third thing? That means what the firewall can block or permit. Like I was just visiting the site of NIT Hamirpur. There I seen that in 2017, they put one tender there for purchasing the firewall and UTM device. In that tender, they have put that mean we want to block these type of thing. We want to allow these type of thing. That mean all the instructions that I have given. So same way, we want to see whether we can use this firewall on NIT Hamirpur or not. So this third thing is going to decide what this firewall is going to do and what this firewall is not going to do. So we have to discuss briefly the OSI model. And once we go to the OSI model, we always hate this model. But for firewall purpose, we need to understand. And for 2 minutes, I am going to show you this model, what it is going to block and permit. So in my case, I'm taking two systems like 172.24.0.30. And one system is 172.24.0.1. And we have got web server here. Now, please remember when I'm going to send the request to this, how this OSI model is going to behave. Now, please remember when we talk about OSI model, 7 layers are there. Now, these above 3 layers are data layers. To relate it with the real example, I have got one friend in Bangalore, that name is Chandrasekhar. Suppose I want to send one Parker pen as a gift to Chandrasekhar. So what I have to do? I have to pack that. That means I have to wrap that pen into some gift format. That means that pen is your data. Same way in this case OSI model, the first 3 layers are your data. Now, when I'm going to wrap that Parker pen, what I have to do? I have put the name of that person, his address, and phone number also. And what I will do, because the Parker pen is costly, I will put my address also, my name, address, and phone number also. Same way, what happens when the data is there? When this data reaches the transport layer, what the transport layer is going to do? It is going to put some source port. And because the traffic is going towards the web server, now we know that web server is on 80 port. So what will happen? So this is data. So in this transport layer, is going to put source port here, and it is going to put destination port here. Then what will happen? When the traffic will reach the network layer, it is going to put IP address, source IP, destination IP. So source IP, destination IP. Then when it is going to reach the data link layer, it is going to put source MAC and destination MAC, source MAC and destination. Now, please remember, firewall is never going to check the data. That is why the firewall is very faster. So when we are talking about the virus, where the virus is going to be, it is going to the data. So please remember, whenever you are implementing the firewall, it is not going to stop the virus type of things, because when we talk about the firewall, generally 90% of the time, it will block on the basis of or allow on the basis of source MAC, source IP, source port, or it is going to block or allow in the basis of destination port, destination IP, or destination MAC. And out of these also 90%, almost 85% time, it is going to work on these 3 things: source IP, destination port and destination IP. So in our case, when I will be giving you the practical example, mostly we will be blocking on the basis of source IP, destination IP, and destination port. So let me now move to the practical portion. So in my case, I have got 4 systems available. So let me show you those 4 systems. So first of all is going to be my Windows system, that is 192.168.0.2. So in my case, continuously I will be shifting from the practical and this slide. So in my case, I have got 4 systems with me. So let me show you that. So let me go to the new share. In new share, I will go into my. So now I am moving towards the practical portion. So first of all, I'm showing you this Windows system. So let me have this command. This is we have to check the IP addresses in Windows. The command is ipconfig. So if you are going to carefully look, this is having the address 192.168.0.2. That is our Windows system. Now let me go to the, now in my case, 4 systems are there. XP2, this is Windows system. This is client 11. This is Linux system. And please remember, in my case, I'm using the virtualization. In virtualization, I have created 4 systems. And in my case, this is my firewall, IP tables firewall. So let me first go to this client 11. So let me increase a little bit font size. So first of all, I'm showing you the IP addresses. So in Linux, the command is ifconfig. So if you are going to carefully look at 174.0.11, let me go to this system, 31. So here, let me again check what is the address. Ifconfig. The address is 172.24.0.31. So these are my 3 systems. Now this is my IP tables firewall. So let me show you. Because this is firewall and it is connected with 2 networks. So what I have done in my case, I have placed 2 LAN cards there, ETH0 and ETH1. If you are going to carefully look, this is having the address 172.24.0.1. And this is having the address 192.168.0.1. So now, whether our full lab is working properly or not, what I am going to do, from this system, I am going to ping to this system. So this is one command that everybody knows how to use this ping. So in my case, I'm trying to ping to that system 24.0. So let us see. Now what is happening? We are able to ping. That means from this system, we are able to ping to this system. So let me again go to that diagram. So in our case, I have shown you 4 systems. This is system, this system, this system, and IP address. Now what I did from this system, I tried to ping to this system. Now the ping is working. That means our router implementation is okay. Everything is okay. Now what I want to check whether this telnet is working properly or not, SSH is working properly or not, web server is working properly or not, FTP. Because later on, we are going to block the traffic. So in my case, I have set up one sophisticated lab. Now from this, ping is working. Now what I want to do? I want to check all these servers. And please remember, when I created this Linux system, I created 2 users also there, Vipen and Anantika. So I will go to this 11 system. From 11 system, I will try to check whether telnet is working or not, SSH is working or not, web is working or not, FTP is working or not. Later on, we will say that 11 should not be able to telnet, 11 should not be able to FTP, that type of things. But first we have to see whether this whole lab is working properly or not. So in my case, now I will go to the 11 system. From this, I will try to assess all these servers. So let me again go. So in my case, I have to continuously shift from this. So I will go to this client 11 system. I will increase the font size. Now I will clear the screen. Now let me first check whether telnet is properly or not. So please remember what I'm saying. for connecting with the telnet, the command is telnet. Suppose I have to connect with NIT Hamirpur servers. So I will get the IP address of what is the IP address of NIT Hamirpur server. So in my system, I'm going to type telnet and the IP address of that system. Now, in my case, I'm doing to assess that my firewall. Now it is going to ask for the username and password. In my case, the username is Vipin and whatever password I have given. Now, if you are going to carefully look, I'm able to telnet to the firewall. That means my telnet is working properly. Now let us check the SSH. Now please remember, because your workshop is regarding security, telnet is not the recommended the protocol for accessing the remote system, because telnet sends the traffic in clear text. So whenever you are using the cloud or this remote management of servers, you should always use the SSH. SSH means secure server. It is going to send the traffic in encrypted form, so nobody can have access to this traffic. So in my case, when I have to access by using SSH, what I have to say? SSH, please go to 172.24.0. This one system, and it is going to ask for username. Give the username as a Vipin. Now, when I'm going to say, it is going to ask for the password. That means we are able to SSH also. Now, in my case, I have implemented the web server also there. So for accessing the web server, and if you are going to carefully look, my Linux is running in text mode. Most of the time when you're using the Linux, it will be in text mode. So in text mode, we have got one browser is there. The name of the browser is elinks. So what I'm saying, elinks, please go to 172.24.0.1 system and please dump the page. So what it is saying, welcome to the IP address. That means my web server is also working properly. Now, last server that I want to check, that is FTP server. Because first of all, we want to see whether everything is working properly or not. So when I have to say FTP, please remember, whenever you download anything from the internet, by default, they have implemented FTP server there. Now, by default, the username is FTP, password is also FTP. So that means successfully we are able to access. Now, the last thing that I want to check, whether the ping is working or not. Ping is also working. So in our case, what is happening? Everything is working perfectly. So now what we are going to do? We are going to take 4 different cases. First, we will take 4 different cases. Then later on, 3 more different tasks we are going to perform. Now, in my case, what I want to do? First task that we want to perform is that our firewall should be able to stop the traffic from this system. So first task is going to do, what we are going to do, I want to say that our firewall should not allow 172.24.0.11 system to access any services on this system. Now, what was happening till now? From this system, we were able to access telnet, SSH, web, FTP, everything. Now, what I want my firewall to stop everything. That means this system should not be able to access anything on this our system. Now, please remember, when I'm saying in which direction the traffic is going to come. So I'm sitting here. I want to block this system. So please remember the traffic we have to control, that is going to be input direction. Now, in what is the problem with this rule? When I'm saying that block the traffic from this system, but this system will be able to access everything. So in second task, what I will like to do, that means this whole network, 172.24.0.0 network, it should not be able to access any service on this. So we are going to second task. But what is the problem with this rule? This will be able to access. Then we want third task. In third task, what we want? Nobody should be able to access this system or this firewall. Sometimes when your organization is under attack, we want to block the traffic from each, and that is going to be the third case. Now, fourth case, first I am going to discuss, then I will show a practical implementation of all these 4 cases. In fourth cases, what I want to do, I want that this 172.24 0.11 system should not be able to access telnet. In earlier case, what was happening? We were blocking each and everything. That is not the recommended practice. Normally, you do not want to block the access to your websites. So in fourth case, what I want that this system should not be able to access that. So let me go to the first case. So in first case, what I want, this system should not be able to access anything on this. So in my case, let me write the rule. So I will go to my practical. So now where I have to write the rules? In this firewall. So let me write the rules, IP tables. This is the name of the file. Please remember, whenever you are going to install any Linux, by default, this firewall is already there. That means no need to install anything. This very powerful, almost 30% industry and organization, they use this firewall, and it is free, and it is even more powerful than that paid version. So in our case, I'm saying type of firewall I want to use, that is filter. And please remember, I will be sharing the slides, almost 110 slides are there, where I have taken the screenshot of each and every command that I will be sharing. So no need to note down. So I'm saying IP tables, please use filter type of property. Then I'm saying add in input direction. Then I have to specify which thing I want to block. So I am going to say, so let me go there. I'm saying source address is 172.24 0.11. Let me first write the rule. So what rule I am writing? On firewall, I am saying IP tables. Now, when we were discussing theoretical, we said that three types of firewalls are there: filter, NAT, or mangle. Then three directions are there: input, output, or forward. And then those 6 parameters are there: source MAC, destination MAC, source IP, destination IP, source port, destination. So out of those 6, we are using only one. So what I'm saying, please IP tables, filter the traffic in input direction. A mean add the rule. Please remember, in every organization, even in NIT Hamirpur, there is going to be one gate, and on gate, security persons will be there. So you can specify, you can give the instruction to your security guard, because today Vipin net was not working properly. So next time when Vipin Gupta is going to come to NIT Hamirpur, please do not allow Vipin Gupta to enter into NIT Hamirpur. That means the security guard is there. So, but he or she is going to act only when you are going to pass the instruction. Same way, this firewall is already there. You have to pass the instruction. So we are saying A mean add the rule in input direction and block the traffic from this source address. J mean jump drop. Now let us check what is going to happen. So in my case, I will go to the 11 system. Now from 11 system, I will try to do e-links. It is not going to work. We are going to do SSH. It is not working. And what? Telnet. That means it has blocked the traffic from the 11 system. And let us check from the ping also. It is not working. But what about this 31 system? So I will go to the 31 system. I will try to run certain commands. So telnet, we are able to do. What about the other services? Ping also. I will not check all the services. That means from this 31 system, we are able to ping. Because in our case, what we did? We just block from this one. That means if you have to block from single system, you have to write the rule. Now, this is not very effective. Now you are so much fed up with Vipin Gupta because from the last 1 hour, he was not equal to the task. So what you want? You want to block the city from which Vipin Gupta belongs. So if you have come to know that I belong to Moga, so you are so fed up with me that you want that from next time onward, your organization is not going to allow anybody from Moga to enter into your college. So in this case, we were blocking only one system. Now I want to block the whole network. That means 172.24.0.11 also, 31 also, even if it is 21 also, we want to block. So first of all, I have to delete this rule. For deleting the rule, the command is D. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to write new rule. So what is going to the rule? So in my case, I'm going to write this. Now what I'm saying, IP tables, type of firewall is filter, A mean in input direction, source, this is the network. That means we want to block the whole network. J mean drop. Now what will happen? I will go to the 11th system. So I will, ping is not working. Telnet is also not working. Let us go to the 31 system also. So now ping is not working. And about the telnet. But what about this system? XP. Now please remember, what is the IP address of this system? 192.168.0.2. You have not blocked the Chandigarh pupils. So it is just like Chandigarh. So let me see what happens. I'm going to say telnet 172.24.0.1. It is allowing. That means second task, that means when we have to block the system, we can do. Now the problem is, sometimes your organization is under attack. Like what happened almost 1 year back, there was one attack on some Pune bank, and for full 2 days hackers were there. Almost they say that they were able to steal almost 99 crore rupees. That means for 2 whole days that their network administrator was simply sleeping. That means he or she was not able to block any type of traffic. So in our case, in third case, we sometimes call this as a Sanjeevani Bhatti rule. That means I want to block all the traffic. Now, why this is necessary sometimes? Suppose my house is under attack and my house has got, suppose 20 different doors are there. Now, when my house is under attack, at that time, I will not think which door to close, which not to close. At that time, my priority will be to close all the doors. Same way in third task, what we want to do, we want to block each and everything. So I will delete this rule. Then I'm going to write one new rule. And this is, and if the admin of that Pune bank, if he or she could have run this rule simply. What I'm saying, IP tables, filter, input direction, we have not specified any address. That means it is going to block the traffic from each and every. Now, this is very hard rule, but when your organization is under attack, then this is the one. And immediately it will take the effect. That means now nobody will be able to access your systems. So I will not show you, this is the third. So in networking, what is, you can stop one single person like Vipin Gupta. Then you can stop a whole network like Vipin Gupta belongs to Moga. You stop anybody from entering to NIT from Moga. Then third is the whole world. So this is the third. But in these cases, all the three cases, what was happening? We were blocking the telnet, SSH, web server, FTP. Suppose we have got, we have in our city, we have created one public park. If we are not going to allow the public there, then what is the use of that public park? Same way, normally we do not block the access to web servers. So in fourth task, what I want to do, so let me first delete this rule. So for deleting rule, it is simple. You have to specify D option. And please remember, it is very case sensitive. If it is written in capital, then it should be in caps. If it is in small letter, then it is in small. So let me again go to the diagram. So what is the fourth task? So in our case, first we block from one system, then from the this whole network. In third case, from this also, from this also. Although in third case, I have not shown you the, because already we lost 10 to 15 minutes. Now fourth task, which is very important. And one admin's almost 50% life revolves around that rule only. So in the fourth case, what I want that 172.24.0.11 system, it should not be able to telnet to this system. That means it should be able to access SSH, web, FTP, but it should not be able to telnet to this system. So this is the fourth rule. And please remember, almost 50% of time admin is going to write these type of rule. So let me explain it clearly. So again, let me share that screen. So now I am going to write the rule. So let me first write the rule. So the command is IP tables. Then I'm going to say type of firewall I want to use filter. One example I will be giving of a NAT also. Then I'm going to say, again, the direction is input. Then I'm going to say protocol is TCP. Please remember, let me first write the rule, then I am going to explain. So I'm going to write first the rules, then I'm going to explain. So in my case, this is the rule. Let me explain. So I'm saying IP tables, filter the traffic, again in input direction. And please remember, when we talk about telnet, now telnets will, the port of telnet is 23. The persons who do not know about the ports, like in NIT Hamirpur, there might be 1000 room. Suppose a certain ABC person that is sitting on 23 rooms, and you do not want anybody to go to that person. So what you will restrict, you will tell to the gatekeeper that if somebody is going towards that 23 room, please do not allow that person to enter into our college. Same way, what happens, each and every server has got certain ports available. So when we talk about telnet, it works on 23 port. If it is SSH, it is 22 port. If it is web server, it is 80 port and 443 port. And if it is FTP, it is 20 and 21 port. So in our case, what we have written, and please remember, when we talk about these port, these are going to be either TCP or UDP. TCP means reliable. So when we talk about telnet SS, they are reliable protocol and they use TCP. But when we are talking about one TFTP server, or once we are talking about the DNS server, DNS servers works both on UDP also and TCP also. So if you have to block the DNS traffic, then here we are going to specify UDP. But most of the protocol, working protocol, they are TCP based. So we are saying protocol is TCP. Then from which address? 172.24.0.11. And where the traffic is going? That means only the traffic which is going towards that telnet. And we should know what is the port of that telnet, 23. Then what we are going to say? J drop. Now let us check. So I will go there. 11 system. Now please remember this system. What is the address of this system? It is 172.24.0.11. So let us telnet. Now telnet is not working. But what about SSH? SSH is working. And what about ping? ping is also working. That means for 11 system, we are not able to telnet. But what about this 31 system? Now, whether we will be able to telnet or not, let us see. We are able to telnet because when we have written the rule, what we have specified. In our case, we specified, let me again show you that rule. What we specified, that only 11 systems should not be. That means if you want that your NIT Hamirpur servers, they should be should not be accessed by this these addresses. Suppose sometimes we know that from China the attacks are being performed. Now each and every country has got certain real IP addresses, so we can block the whole range of those addresses so that from those countries there is no attack. So we can specify. Now in my case, what I want to block the SSH also. So the same rule. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to write 22 here. So that means same rule, 22. Now what is going to happen? So let us go to our 11 system. Let me clear the screen. Now even SSH is not working. What about the telnet? Telnet is not working. But what about the web server? So this is web server. It is working. FTP is also working. And what about that ping command? Ping command is also working. So you can specify which thing. Suppose I want to block the web server. So what we have to do? Simply, I'm not going to write the rule. I am just going to explain. Then what you have to do? You have to specify from 22, you have to just change the port from 22 to 80. Suppose today evening, one new server is going to come up. Suppose the name of that server is Weapon server. So you want to block that server. So what you need to know only, you need to know only that what is the port of that server. Suppose that port is 420. So what you are going to do? You have to just block that 420 port. What will happen? Access will not be there. So simply, so most of the 50% time of admin is spent in this type of route. So in my case, now I have to delete these rules. But please remember, first of all, I want to show 2 or 3 commands. I want to check how many rules I have written. So what is the command? IP tables list. So it is going to show you the rule that we have already written. But please remember what it is showing. Instead of showing the IP addresses, it is showing the name. So we can modify this command n mean no DNS. So now it is going to show. So suppose you have written 100 rules. Deleting 100 rule one by specifying D command, it is not very efficient. So please remember, sometimes in our case, we have got so many rules available. We want to delete all the rules. So one very good command is there, flush. So now flush is going to delete each and every rule. So if you have to delete all the rules, you can use the flush command. Now we are going to do the 1/5 task, which is also very controversial type of task, and it is going to test your network knowledge also. Then after this 5th task, one rule I am going to show in forward direction, and then one example of SNet and DNet I am going to give. Now this 5th task, I want that this system, 11 system, it should not be able to ping to this system. Please remember what I want. I want that this system, 11 system, it should not be able to ping to this system. So that means now we want to block the ping. So let us see what is going to happen. And please remember, when we write this rule, it is going to test your networking knowledge also. So let me go to again our lab. So I'm going to then we will see why would somebody like to block this ping type of traffic. So let me first write the rule. So I'm going to say there again, IP tables, type of firewall is filter, again A input, direction is very important. Then protocol I have to specify. Please remember this ping commands comes under ICMP protocol, Internet Control Management Protocol. And sometimes I ask the student participant on which ports this ping commands works. And surprisingly, 30%, 30 to 35% cases, they start giving me the port. Please remember this ICMP or ping command does not work on any port because this is not a server. It is just one messenger protocol. So please, you have to just specify that protocol ICMP you want to block, and automatically ping command will got blocked. So then we have to specify source. So 172.24.0.11. Then what we have to specify? J drop. So let us see. That means IP table, filter, input direction, protocol is ICMP, and from this source, just block the ping. J drop mean drop the traffic. So in my case, I will go. Let us see whether ping is working or not. Now you are going to see that ping is not working. Now my question is whether telnet is going to work or not. Normally, when we teach networking, we say that please take two systems, physical or two VMs or two containers, give IP addresses to those physical system VMs or containers, then try to ping from one system to another. If the ping is working, then they are in networking. If the ping is not working, they are not in networking. Now, in our case, this ping is not working. So my question is whether this telnet is going to work or not. So again, almost 1/3 people, they say telnet is not going to work. 1/3 they say it is going to work, and 1/3 always diplomatic. They are going to say it may or may not. So let us check. Now what is happening? This is working. Telnet is working. So please remember, this firewalls does not work on emotions. What we have specified to our firewall, block ICMP. So it is only going to block ICMP traffic, only ping traffic. It is not going to block telnet or SSH type of traffic. And why any admin would like to block this firewall type of ping type of traffic? Please remember, 90% of the hacking tools, what they do, they first see whether the system is alive or not. So they will try to ping through that system. If it is pinging, then they will start. Suppose after almost 1 o'clock, I will be free. So I want to say that after 1 o'clock, I just want to loot some bank, rob some bank. Now, is just when I have decided that I want to rob the bank, I will go to some bank and I will rob the bank. No. If I want to rob the bank or loot the bank, I have to study what time the traffic cash is there, at what time the security guards are relaxed. That means a lot of things I have to study. Then only I can rob. Same way, when the hackers, they have to hack certain systems or server, it is not that within 1 minute they will see at what time when the system is alive. So they use certain tools like ping type of commands or super scan type of by which they know. If the admin has blocked the ping, that means those tools will come to know that that system is not alive. So hacker will not try to hack those systems. So they say that when you block the ping command, there is a reduction of almost 90% attacks. So in our case, we have seen how to block this ping. So now what I am going to do, I will delete this rule. Now let us go to our 6th task. So in my case, I will go to the diagram. Now, in my case, what I want that this system should not be able to ping to this system. Again, diagrammatically, this system should not be able to ping to this system. Please remember, my firewall is there. So what is happening? The ping command is going to cross from this system. So I cannot control it by input or output. So what is going to be the direction? So direction is very important. So most of the time, sometimes we have seen the organizations, they purchasing the firewall by evening or by next day, they just disable those firewall, or they just put those firewall in the store, because the admin is not able to understand the properly the direction of the firewall. So here, when I want to stop the traffic from this to this direction, so what chain I have to use? I have to use the forward chain. So let me first try to see whether I am able to ping from this system or not. Later on, what I want to block this ping. So let me go to the again practical. So I will go there from XP system. I will try to ping to 11 system. I'm saying ping 172.20. It is working. Now I want to stop. So I will go to the firewall. So I'm going to write the command IP tables. I'm going to say type of firewall is filter. Then I'm going to say add. Now this is very important. Forward. In which direction? Forward. Now protocol is ICMP. Now I have to specify the source address. What is the source address? 192.168.0.2. This is the source address. And what is the destination address? 172.24.0.11. Then what we are going to say? J. So please remember, if you are going to write it, if any mistake is there, automatically it is going to say syntax is incorrect. So what we are saying? IP table, we are saying filtering. In which direction? Forwarding. Which protocol? ICMP. And the traffic which is originating from 192.168.0.2 and which is going towards 172.24.0.11, please drop the traffic. Now let us check. So I will go there. Let us see. So most of the time, what happens? Like suppose NIT Hamirpur has purchased the firewall. Now mostly these firewalls are at the peripheral. So the internet traffic is your internal traffic. And whatever system you are having, 1000 or that type of system, they are internal systems. So normally, when you place the firewall in organization, it is going to be for last 10 minutes. I am going to give for the question answer session, because already we have lost a lot of time. So again, so last 10 minutes I will be giving for the question. So now it is not working. That means mostly in organization, they will be using this forward type of. Now I want to delete this rule. So how I'm going to delete? Either flush or I'm going to. Now again, let me go to diagram. Now from this system, I want to assess telnet. First, I will see whether telnet is working or not. So in my case, I've created sophisticated lab. So here also I have implemented telnet and SS server. And here I have created two user Amit and Ravi. So from this system, I will try to telnet to this system. And we will see whether the telnet is working or not. Later on, I will say to my firewall, please block telnet access. So again, the chain is going to be in forward direction. So let me first check whether telnet is working or not. So now, so what I'm going to say telnet 172.24.0.11. whatever the user is there. So in my case, the user is Amit and password is. So I think wrong username I have. Amit is the user, password. So we are able to telnet. Now I want to stop that. So I have to write some rule. So for saving the time, what I'm going to do, I'm going to change the earlier rule. So what I'm saying, IP table, filter the traffic. The source address is 192.168.0.2, destination is 11, and we have to specify that port also. And when sometimes I write this type of rule, I get certain comments which are not in very good taste. Sometimes they say that sir has got strong ratification. No, it is not ratification. We have already discussed 3 type of firewall, then 3 directions are there, and out of 6, what are the parameters? So once you have understood those things, implementing any type of firewall is very simple. So what we are saying, IP table, filtering, forward direction, TCP is the protocol. The traffic which is originating from the 2 system, source is this, and where it is going, simple English like command, and where it is going, 23 port, just drop that. So let us see what happens. So in my case, now what will happen? We are not able to tell that. So let me delete this rule. Now let me give you one example of SNet and DNet also. Mangle we are not going to give, but because for Mangle I have to implement different type of labs. So quickly what I'm going to do, I'm going to give one example of SNet. So let me go to the diagram. So in my case, first I'm going to give the example of DNet. I'm going to give one example of DNet. So from this system, now what I was doing from this system, I was trying to telnet to this 11 system. Now in my case, from this system, I'm going to use one command, telnet 172.24.0.41. So from this system, when I'm going to say that please telnet to 172.24.0.41, because no system in our lab is 41. So what it is going to say? It will say that the connection was not possible because there is no such system. But why I am putting this address 172.24.0.41? Because earlier the address of this system was 41. Like what happens? Sometimes we have got the office somewhere. Now we in my case, suppose I have shifted the office. Now most of the person, they still will be going to the old office. So what I need to do? I need to do certain things. So in my case, what I'm going to do, show you. So I will go to this. I'm going to run this command 41. I'm saying telnet 172.24.0.41. Now what is going to happen? Connect, because there is no such 41 system. So again, let me go to the diagram. Now what is happening when we are trying to assess by using 41 system, the traffic is going through this system. So what we can do? We can use the DNet. DNet means destination address, network address. Is going to cross from this system. What we will do? We will change that 41 address to 11 dash. So what is going to happen? Now it will give you the access. So let me show you the practical example, and later on we will see also why it is dangerous from security point of view. So let me write one rule, because this is complex rule. So in my case, this is the rule. Again, no need to write the rule because I will be sharing the slides. Almost 120 slides are there. So let me make you understand this rule. IP tables. Now type of firewall, because we have said that this our IP table firewall, it supports NAT also, Mangle also, it supports your filter also. So 90% time it is filter, then it is NAT. If you are a telecommunication company, then it is Mangle type of firewall. So here we are adding one rule that is called pre-routing. That means please change the address before routing decision. So this is unnecessary. We can skip that. Module is TCP, protocol TCP. Now what we are saying, the traffic which is originating from 192.168.0.2 and it is going towards 172.24.0.41. Here we are not saying drop, we are saying destination NAT and change the address to 172.24.0.11. So what will happen when the traffic will cross from that? So let me show you. So now what will traffic will cross from the firewall? It will change the address. So let me go to the diagram. So what we have done in our case, we set that 41. So when the traffic was entering here, at the entrance time, what it did, it changed the destination address from 41 to 11. Like when I have shifted the office on old office, what I am going to do, I will put some, you can say some poster type of thing that now this office has shifted somewhere else. So the people, when they will go to the old office, they will know. Now this can be very dangerous also. Suppose if your traffic is going towards some genuine bank site, what we can do if the hacker has created some fake bank site? So if your traffic is crossing to some device which is what they can do, they can send it to the fake bank site. So it can be very dangerous. Please remember. So that is why we say that when you are, you should know from where your traffic is passing. Those systems can also hack your traffic. So that was one example of your, you can say, DNAT. Let me give you the last example. That is going to be your SNAT. So in my case, I'm just going to remove this rule. So let me remove this rule. Now, let me first make you understand what is SNAT. So in my case, I have to just change the lab, another 5 to 6 minutes I'm going to take. Now, please remember, when we talk about Linux, by default, inbuilt firewall is there. In Linux, we have got another 10 type of different type of securities are there. So if I've got Linux system, if I'm going to implement all type of securities, then what will happen? Our Linux system or our firewall system is going to become so strong that almost 99.99% hackers will get failed. So let me, to make you understand what I'm going to do, I will go to this system and I will write one rule. What I'm going to write? Just do not allow this system to telnet to this system. So let me go to this system, because I want you to make understand what is SNAT. This is going to be the last example. So let me go to the 11 system. I have told that total 11 type of securities are there. So in my case, I will go to this system and I'm going to open one file. So in my case, this is the file, etc host deny file. So here I'm going to, this is called TCP wrapper type of security. So in that file, I have written in telnet-d. And then I have written the address 192.168.0.2. So what is the meaning of this line? The meaning of this line is, please do not allow this 192.168.0.2 system to telnet to your system. So let us see what happens. So we will go to this system. Now I will try to telnet to the, sorry. So in our case, what we have to do? we have to telnet to 11 systems. So I will open the another terminal. So here I'm saying telnet. This is the last rule that I'm going to, then I will take the question 24.0.11. Now it is not, it will not be able to telnet because that system has written some rule that I will not allow. Let me relate it with the real example. Suppose I want to say that I will not allow anybody from Ludhiana to attend my class. I'm just giving one example. Suppose some some student from Ludhiana, next time he or she wants to attend my class, and he knows that if I'm going to say I'm from Ludhiana, sir is not going to allow to attend the class. So next time, what he or she is going to say, I am from Nandar or I am from Delhi. So that means somehow he or she is going to manipulate his source address. So in this case also, what we have said that 11 system, this system I've said that 11 system cannot telnet. So we are not able to telnet. The problem is again, what is happening? The traffic is crossing from this system. So when the traffic is crossing from this system, we can perform S-netting. That means we can say that when the traffic is going to enter and when it is going to reach, we are going to change the address from 2 to 12. Now, how I am going to write this rule? This is the last rule that I am going to write. So I will here. So I will write one rule, S-net rule. So let me write the rule. Then explain this rule. Then I will take the question. So I'm saying, so what was the rule that I have written? I'm saying IP table, again type of firewall is NAT, post routing. Again, the traffic from source, it is going toward this 11 destination, perform S-net and change the source address. So we have already written the rule. Now what will happen? I will go there. Now when I'm going to say 11, what will happen? That means we are bypassing certain things. So that is how S-net is being used. So in my case, I will be sharing those slides. So even IPv6, I have implemented each and everything. So screenshots are there, for each and everything, output direction also. So everything, almost 120 slides are there. So that I will be sharing with the coordinator. So now I will take the questions. And again, extremely sorry, the participants that normally does not happen. I take the classes of outside students also, but today was some very bad day for me. So I will take the questions from the participants. You can put in chat box also. Again, students, very sorry, very sorry. So please remember one thing. I have put almost 50 videos on firewall on this channel. So you can go there and have a quick, that means I have covered a lot of, more than 50 videos are on this IP tables firewall. So any questions, please, this student. So
participant, if you have any question, you can write in the chat box so that sir can reply to your question.
please, you have their hand, so I think ask to mute. I do not have the permission to unmute the students. So the student, they can type the, yes, please ask the question.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes.
Sir, here we are in the example which you have discussed currently, sir.
Yes.
There are different networks for communicating between different networks. You are using an operating system of Linux.
Yes.
So, sir, generally, sir, we use router for communicating two networks. So, sir,
Yes.
how is it possible that an operating system is being able to make the two networks to communicate with each other?
बेसिकली क्या है कि आपने हिंदी में पूछा तो आंसर भी उसी में दे रहा हूँ. बिकॉज इन लाइनिक्स देयर इज ए फैसिलिटी. प्लीज रिमेंबर, जब भी आप राउटिंग की बात कर रहे हो, इट इज नॉट नेसेसरी कि आपने सिस्को राउटर ही परचेज करना है. यू कैन मेक योर Linux system as a router also. You can make a Windows system. Only we have to change one file is there, one sys control file is there. There by default routing is disabled. We have to just change one parameter from 0 to 1. So by default routing is enabled. So by default in Linux, you can make Linux system as a router. So in my case, what I did, so normally also when you purchase those firewall, they have got routing available. So in this case, what I did, I implemented that routing facility there. So that is why I am using. That is why that firewall is also acting as a your router also. So only one line I have to change. One file is there where I have to change the value IP forwarding from 0 to 1. That I have done. Should I show you that file? Yes.
Sir, here we like in our own system, laptop, sir, there is one firewall which is being configured automatically when we buy it. So, sir, so it means that we can configure our firewall on the routers also.
Yes. Normally, like I was saying that NIT Hamirpur, they asked for one tender was there. They were asking one UTM device. There they have specified that their firewall or UTM device, it should perform routing also. It should perform firewalling also, these type of things. So whenever any router, any firewall, this is going to perform these all type of thing there. So by default it is. Even in my case, I'm just using very basic type of routing. Certain softwares are there, like Jabra type of software is there in Linux, where you can implement Cisco type of routing also, like SPF, that type of routing can be implemented. So in Linux, by default, each and everything is there. Any other?
Sir, in the command section, sir, while executing the command, you have used on the several places, on many places, we have used a single hyphen. And while writing D port, sir, you have written double hyphen. So
yes. By default, it is syntax, but normally in Linux, what happens if the you can say the option is more than one character, it is generally you have to put two hyphens, and if it is single, then you have to put the single. Normally in Linux, commands works in that way. That means if the number of characters are more than one, then you have to put normally two hyphens, and if it is one, you have to put the one. That is the syntax of that commands. So I'm just
where we will writing a filter, and then sir, one more NAT something. So sir, all those things we are specifying that which type of firewall we are using there.
In that option, especially in D port type of thing, it it is not always that it follows, but again, like when you are doing C programming, Java, or what you have to do, you have to just follow the syntax there. I'm also following the syntax here, because whoever created that firewall, they specified when you have to write it minus that D port, you have to specify double data. That is just a simple syntax that I was following. So nothing from my side. That means syntax I'm just following. That is
okay.
Like when you do the C programming, what you are doing, just following what they have, what syntax they are specified, they are following.
Yes,
so in my case, I was following that.
Okay, thank you, sir.
And this is one very good question: how firewall act if it is there is a TCP sync flooding? Please remember, in firewall we have got one limit option is also there. If we are going to use that limit option, then we can control. That means I can specify that in 1 hour or 1 minute, how many this TCP sync packets can be there. So we can control because these are the tough rules. So I have not written that, but again, in IP tables, this facility is there. That means DDoS attack, it can stop by using that limit type of option, where you can limit the number of packet it is going to accept. We can. If I block the pink band, then can I unblock? Yes, by just deleting the rules you can do. Or instead of drop rule, what you can do? You can write the accept rule also. So that will do the things. So let me check the other questions also. Can I block the another machine's firewall with another system? Yes, you can do that type of thing. Then another question. So I will be sharing the PDF immediately after the class with the sir. So they are going to share with you people. Almost 120 slides are there. So even IPv6 I have covered there. I just wanted to cover 2-3 more things there, but sorry again, Mathiaga, I will say normally that does not happen. What has happened to me? So any other questions, please? And please be free to ask the questions. In
Guys,
any
if
language,
you have any question, you can write in the chat box so that sir can reply to you.
और किसी भी लैंग्वेज में जिसमें भी आप कंफर्टेबल हो आप क्वेश्चन आस्क कर सकते हैं, प्लीज. Actually, movies starting was not very good. Almost 30 to 40 minutes. It was just. I'm extremely sorry.
No issue, sir. No issue. Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Just one question is there. Why you are using ICMP? Because for blocking the ping comes under ICMP protocol. So we cannot specify directly a ping. We have to specify ICMP. That is. Can we make hardware Trojan to break the firewall? Basically, yes, you can. Not a hardware Trojan. Trojans, basically software Trojans. You can. That means certain frameworks are there. Metasploit is one framework by using which you can create that type of Trojan which can break the firewall. Thank you for the appreciation. Sir, can give the range of IP addresses? No, then you have to use the subnetting. That means if you want to specify 11 to 31, you have to write individual command or you have to use the subnet. That means by using subnetting, you can do that type of thing. So
okay, sir. Thank you so much. It was very nice presentation. Okay. Thank you for accepting
sir, I will
our
be sending you the PDF. You can share with us.
Yeah, please share your PDF. I'll share to everyone actually. Thank you so much. Okay, guys.
Thank you, sir. Okay.
I think his connection has been lost. So we shall meet at 3 p.m. with the same link. And thank you, everyone. So you may leave the meeting, right? Let's meet at 3 p.m. Thank you so much.